So you hate Crocodile too. Got it. So quick heads up, if you see my last video of this short series, then you know that this is me giving you a quick rundown while you're in between rounds or sleeving last minute things and need a recap. Now before going into specific matchups, let me go over the key things with Croc. For one, know that if you're going against a skilled player, which most likely you will be because it's a big brain deck, know that they're going to be returning your key players. If you have a way to out Sentomaro, then do so before it brings out Pacifista. And finally, the win condition for blue is going to be returning your blockers and swinging for game. Now for the matchups. Happy that Croc got his face broken in by Luffy and Alabasta? Me too. The biggest thing when playing Luffy versus Croc is that you're going to want to go around his blockers. Use your Jinbei event when you want to get around and get the drop on your opponent because they will have a lot of blockers. Know that they will return all your cards that don't have rush because they don't want more attacks coming their way. And finally, know they are going for the long game because they know you don't got the gas to stay there later with little to none with hand counters. Playing Kid? I'm sorry to hear that, but you got this. A lot of things to know when playing Kid against Croc is to be aware that your cards may not stick on board, meaning that Basil, X-Ray, 7-cost Kid, forget about them because they will always have an extra Sable or Dolph to just return them. Play low cost characters like Urig or 3-cost Kid to have them focus on potential game makers. Do preserve your life, and if they fill their board with blockers, do not use Straw Sword on them. Wait for the Sentomaro and or Dolph to rid of their opportunity to swing more hits at you. Finally, know that they have the Boa blocker as a trigger, so if you haven't seen it yet, it might be in their life area, especially later game when you're going for the all or nothing double hit with leader. Love playing the Beast Kaido? Best strategy with Kaido versus Croc is going to be, I think it's self-explanatory, but KO his Sentomaro with Who's Who. Know that your life will be pressed, especially in the early game, so preserve what you can as you get your board filled with 9-cost Kaido, because they can't do anything about it once it's out. And truly, that's really it, shockingly, with that matchup, and you'll do just fine outside of that. KO the Sentomaro, and really the rest is just king. Now finally, if you're watching this because you want to know how people can beat you using your Croc build, or you want to be the one that is the true Mr. Zero in a mirror match, then this is the way. Biggest thing is whoever has Doflamingo first will most likely win it, but also know you're going to be returning each other's Doflamingo a lot. If you're going to return anything on the field, then do the Pacifistas that they play and not the Sentomaro, because most likely they are not going to pay to play back the Pacifista. Outside of that, be smart with how you block and use counters, and be prepared for the longest match you'll possibly have out of all the matchups for sure. And we're back, and kudos to you for making it towards the ends on my knowledge that I have for how to beat Mr. Zero himself. We went over the simple quick tips on how I think that you should counter Croc and the best ways to go about it, so I do hope that helps you a ton for sure. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is know that my thoughts are just not the end all say all. Truly, it's based on what you feel is correct and the best way to go about it, so do go with what you feel is most comfortable and don't try to overthink stuff that sometimes may just be really simple. Also, find time to really enjoy the event. I enjoyed it myself. I think it was really great. I met a lot of people, and I think you will too for sure, so do enjoy it. Take as much breaks as you can in between rounds so that you're not overstressing yourself and thinking about things that you just do not have control over, and overall just enjoy the experience. A great Future Power King once said, no matter how hard or impossible it may seem, never lose sight of your goal. So with that, stay motivated, know that the One Piece is real, and know that you got love over here. Peace. Thank you.